Good morning. Good afternoon, all of you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, I think we will begin in 2 minutes. We have so many things to complete, and afternoons are a challenge in keeping us alive. Otherwise, we will all be asleep. We have we have one novel and 2 plays and 1 short story to do. Am I right? So what shall we start with? How many students are logged in? 33. Okay, we'll start off with a short story. Although things that we have to do, or at least quite a few things that we have to do today, are a little on the darker and somber mood, because Moby Dick is about revenge. Isaac Asimov's Cask of Amontillado is about revenge. And Desire Under the Elms also, you have elements of revenge and love and murder, and also All My Sons also has a very complex plot. So shall we start with a plot, short story, or what do you prefer I start with?
Short story, ma'am.
Okay. When is the time that you all feel very, very sleepy? Right now or a little later? Because I would like to do the most interesting thing when you are all very sleepy. Okay, so maybe we'll start off with the short story and then take a quick 5-minute break before each topic, because however much I want to complete, the challenge is I should not fall asleep, you should not fall asleep. I'm also a human being, right? Okay, so we have Edgar Allan Poe's short story, The Cask of Amontillado. To give you very briefly, Edgar Allan Poe, I won't give you a lot of introduction, is is one of the best known short story writers of American literature. He's known for bringing in elements of ghost or those sinister elements. Just like if you remember, O. Henry.
Ma'am, your voice is very low, ma'am.
Is it very low? How is it now?
No, fine, ma'am.
Okay, I think the mic is trying to. I'm using my headphones, so sometimes the mic goes here and there. Is it better? Yeah, if at all, if it's a little low, remind me. So if you remember O. Henry, his short stories are known for surprise endings. So each short story writer sometimes will have something very, very unique for their short stories. So Edgar Allan Poe is known as a man who brings in um, 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 science, or who brings in detective fiction. So he's basically credited. You can underline this on page 469. If you have your notes, I want you to make sure of these important details. Second paragraph of the introduction, underline this. He basically invented the genre of mystery or detective fiction. Okay, so that's very, very significant. Now, in this
Ma'am, page number, please.
Okay, 469.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. So cask of Amontillado, cask means it's like, that a bottle, a leather or um, or, barrels. So second paragraph under the subheading title I'm reading, Amontillado is an alcoholic beverage. So it's like a drink. It is closely related to sherry, the wine. What is a cask? Cask is like a barrel where they store wine or other drinks. So, and wine generally, the longer it is stored in a dark or underground place of the earth, cellars they store. So, the older the wine is, the more costlier it is, the richer it is in terms of taste. So, earlier, even now, I think good wines are stored for a long, long period, buried under the earth. So, in this short story, to give you two important names you should remember. Montresor tells Fortunato that he has this special wine called Amontillado. And he wants him to drink this special wine. Fortunato is tempted to drink this Amontillado. He's a man who loves to drink. So Amontillado, the best wine like champagne, I don't know. I don't drink, so I don't know, but I'm just giving you some examples. Don't ask me which is the best one, right? So Amontillado, he loves drinking. So drinking or tasting this Amontillado, sorry, did I say Amontillado? I'm sorry. Fortunato loves drinking. So for him, drinking this best wine would be the best moment of his life. So he is willing to go through whatever it takes to taste this Amontillado. Okay. Now, Montresor, where does he hide or where does he store this Amontillado cask? He stores it in a graveyard. Graveyard in the sense, see, the Europeans, what is a sphinx? No, not sphinx, pyramids. What is a pyramid? Pyramid is the grave of the pharaohs, the Egyptian rulers. Am I right? I think today I will ask you one or two questions for you to be alert. What is a pyramid?
Where dead body, the Egyptians call mummies, are stored.
Yes.
Where dead bodies preserved.
Preserved. So, in one sense, it is like a graveyard, right? Of course, it's not a graveyard where everybody is buried. That's the greatest difference, right? So,
Only for Egyptians.
sorry, be a bit louder, ma. Only for
Egyptians.
Egyptians, and not for every ordinary Egyptian. The
Kings.
Kings and queens, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you have those famous movies, The Mummy Returns, all that. Okay. Now, in the European culture also, the kings and the queens or famous people would have their own special places of burial called as vaults, VAULTS, or catacombs. Romans had catacombs, CATACOMBS. That means those are specialized. So you have to go room after room after room, like an interior dungeon. But they're all underground, and only the most important family will have the keys to that lock. So only he can open it. And if you remember Romeo and Juliet story, please watch it. You will know what I'm trying to say. So they will be buried in those walls. So now, yeah, please mute yourself. Montresor buries or stores this Cask of Amontillado in his vault. Okay. And what happens now? Let me take you very quickly. We don't know the relationship between Fortunato and Montresor. Obviously, it looks like Fortunato seems to have insulted or made fun or troubled Montresor in some way. Please mute yourself. I have, yeah. Okay, so Fortunato seems to have insulted or somewhere he has made Montresor angry about something. So Montresor decides on this plan of killing. Please mute yourself.
Ma'am, sorry for you. Once you say page number, ma'am.
46972. I'm here now.
972.
472.
470. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. So I'm now in the summary, the setting. It is the story is set, second line, in a nameless Italian city. So the city is not mentioned. The year in which it takes place is not mentioned. But look at the second paragraph. Montresor is a criminal who masterminds the plans to the transformation of his family's crypt. Crypt means that vault where they store the bodies. Okay, dead. Not they store the bodies; they bury the dead bodies. So it's actually a neat place. Only thing is, it's dark. It's mostly underground. It's secret. Nobody else is allowed to him. Okay. Now I'm going to the introduction under summary. Or underline this important line in the second paragraph. Previously, Montresor functions as a criminal mastermind. He transforms the family's crypt into a crime scene. Come to the third line. Montresor transforms a sanctified family space of memory and tribute, where the old people, their family members are buried. It's a sacred place for you. So that place of memory and tribute, you will go and visit them probably on their birthdays. I'm not saying that people live there, but I'm talking about how so certain things are special to you, certain places are special to you. But that place is turned into a weapon of revenge. Okay, now come to summary and introduction. It's told in the first person by Montresor, the narrator, who carries a grudge against Fortunato. Why is he angry and carrying a grudge against Fortunato? We don't know. The narrator begins by telling us that as Fortunato has mortally insulted him. Mortally means very badly. Mortal means almost insulted him to death. And therefore, Montresor decided to take revenge on Fortunato. But he has covered this idea of revenge so well that Fortunato would never guess that he's trying to take revenge. So he maintains an appearance of goodwill, underline the last line, towards Fortunato, and decides to exploit Fortunato's weaknesses for fine wines. One evening during the carnival season, festival season, when everybody wants to drink and treat each other, right? Festival mood. Montresor finds Fortunato and invites him to try out a sample of sherry, which he has recently acquired. And he wants Fortunato because he drinks a lot. Montresor says, "You drink and confirm whether it is Amontillado or not." Fortunato is surprised and excited. He is surprised because Amontillado is one of the costliest ones. Why would anyone share Amontillado with him? Number one. Number two, Fortunato knows that he has insulted Montresor. So why would Montresor invite him to drink, and that too costly wine like Amontillado? Third, he's excited because that is something very special. So Montresor suggests that Fortunato might be too busy and that Montresor might have Lucchesi taste it instead. Look at how cleverly Montresor is playing the game. He says, no, if you are too busy, then I will ask someone else to taste and tell me. So this is another way of insulting and provoking Fortunato. Fortunato insults Lucchesi's skill with wines. So Fortunato says, according to Fortunato, he is the best one to taste and certify wine. Lucchesi's skills with wine, Lucchesi is secondary to him. So if Fortunato tells Montresor, no, I'm going to come with you and taste. How can you ask Lucchesi kind of a imagination he has? He might not have told all this to Montresor, but definitely he must have thought, I'm the one to certify. So he insists on accompanying Montresor to the walls to taste the Amontillado. Montresor offers a token protest. Montresor says, no, that the walls, see, these underground places are dark, cold, and chilly, and it will be very, very chilly. So he tells, no, they're full of nitrogen, you will not get enough oxygen, and your cold is already bad, and it might not be good for you. But Fortunato says, no, I want to come and taste. So Montresor puts on a mask of black silk and a cloak and leads Fortunato to his home. Then both of them go to the underground graveyard or catacomb of the Montresor family. This is where the narrator keeps his wine. And then the narrator leads Fortunato deeper and deeper into the catacomb. Slowly, as he is going deeper, lower and lower, and inside, okay, Fortunato is already given some wine to drink. Montresor keeps on giving him drinks because he loves drinking. So Montresor tempts him with more drinks, and Fortunato is also stupid to drink. He's drinking and going inside. He's coughing. Montresor says, you're coughing. I already told you your health is not go. And he says, no, you might, I don't want you to fall sick. You're coughing. I want you to go back because these cellars are very damp. So he keeps telling him this. So Fortunato never suspected that Montresor had this plan of putting him to death. So what happens? They keep talking about things like the coat of arms. Coat of arms is like a soldier's attire, which consists of a golden foot that crushing a serpent that bites the foot against a field of blue. So Montresor has this on his body as a symbol code. That's what is there on his body, like a Latin phrase is there on his. No one attacks me with impunity. So that also actually means a lot. So as he goes deeper and deeper, okay, Look at 6.5. Eventually, Montresor leads him into a deep crypt, at the end of which is a smaller crypt lined with human remains. So, skeletal remains are still there. That's the maybe the last one, the most interior place. In the fourth wall of the crypt is a small niche backed by the walls of granite. So, there's a small groove, a small opening space in those among those walls, the fourth wall. Montresor claims that the niche to be the location of the Amontillado, and Fortunato walks into the man-sized hole. So Montresor tells Fortunato, look, there is a wall, and in that wall you have this stored. There's a small niche, and in order to reach that wall, that niche, there is a man-sized hole, and Fortunato walks into the man-sized hole. And then the narrator chains Fortunato to the wall. Suddenly he's chained to the wall. He's too surprised to resist. He's actually drunk. Now he can't even come out. So Fortunato is trapped. Now Montresor says, now you can leave. Montresor begins to wall up the entrance. Now he's again trying to put back the walls and say, wall up the entrance means nobody can come inside anymore. And Fortunato is now trapped. Fortunato screams confusedly, and Montresor now builds the first layer of the wall. Now, please mute yourself. Fortunato suddenly wakes up now out of his stupor, out of his drunkenness. And he begins to scream because now he's realized that he's trapped and he's now building the layers of wall. He moans, he's helpless, he's crying. But as Montresor is now beginning to rebuild the layers, Fortunato falls silent. Fortunato still thinks if he's playing a joke, but Montresor is not joking. Listen, Ma, I have 4 hours to talk to you. Who's that? Who's unmuted? Please tell them.
Swapna madam.
Swapna, please unmute.
Not unmute. They should be muted.
Unmute.
Arpula Swapna, please mute. You're disturbing us a lot. This madam is also telling.
Swapna garu.
Has she
muted.
Hello, ma'am. I think you have muted yourself.
అసలు
Okay.
మేడం లేరు
Yeah. ఎవరో మ్యూట్ చేసినట్టున్నారు మేబీ ద అడ్మిన్ because I'm actually using my earphones. I'm not even using. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I'm at least asking you to go through with me the page numbers.
Ma'am, 1 second. The meaning of the lesson is Amontillado is the costliest wine which kept under the ground level. Isn't it, ma'am?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So finally, Montresor, just before Montresor puts in the last brick, Fortunato jingles his bells. Montresor claims that his heart feels sick because of the dampness of the catacombs. He finally repositions the bones on the fourth wall. Thus, Montresor finishes the job and leaves Fortunato to die there. At the very end, Montresor tells us that the whole affair, this incident took place 50 years ago and nobody has found it out. He concludes with a Latin phrase saying, "May he rest in peace." So, Edgar Allan Poe's short stories are famous because there's a thrilling suspense. They are short, but there are layers of things involved in it. How Montresor plans it, executes it. So these are very, very important. Come to page 474, quickly underline some important things. Themes are there: revenge, love and hate, Montresor's motives, masquerade, animals, no one insults me without impunity is given on his emblem, on his coat of arms. So that actually gives us an inkling into what kind of a person is Montresor. His family motto is a tradition of revenge. He can be so cold-blooded and unreasonable. He's someone who's very, very clever, appears to be a very calm and good person. Look at how he tells Fortunato, "You're sick, you have cough, it might not be a good idea. Why don't you go back?" Right? So that kind of a devilish intelligence Montresor shows towards Fortunato. So who is the second character, Fortunato? 9-2. He's a wine expert. Now, what actually puts him to death? Wine experts' love for wine, right? He just wants to have the pleasure of drinking and drinking the best wine. That is the one that ultimately led him to his death. His love of wine does not make him suspect Montresor even in the least bit. Right? Okay. Is there something else you want me to explain? I think the notes are fairly sufficient because I have one lengthy novel and 2 dramas. I don't want to spend more time on this. So I'll give you 2 minutes break if you require, otherwise no need of a break.